Hello there, it's Kim again, coming to you with another paper crafting video. Kim with Wild Rose and Pearl. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based out of the Okanagan, British Columbia, Canada. So we've got our March paper pumpkin today, and with March's paper pumpkin, they decided that they were going to start giving us free stamp sets just for being loyal customers. So I've got a free stamp set in here, which looks really beautiful. There's a lovely little wildflower, but there is also a printout, so I'm going to pull that out. And oh, we've got hummingbirds this month. Our stamping spot is basic gray. And I'm going to open this up and have a look-see. Oh, how pretty is that? Already I can see in the envelopes this pretty design along the bottom here. Very pretty. Okay, what do we got? Oh, wow. These are simple in color. They're very muted color, except for the focal point, which is these hummingbirds. Wow, I think this is going to be really beautiful to work with. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Now, paper pumpkin comes with everything I need, so I know I've got everything I need inside of here. The only thing I'm going to do, your first paper pumpkin subscription, you get a stamping block like this, and that's what you're going to keep and carry through month to month. I'm just going to swap it out for it's the exact same size. It's our D block. It's just easier and a little heavier, easier for me to work with. So I'm going to swap that out today. But other than that, it gives you everything you need. All your adhesives will be in here. The stamping spot is basic gray, so you always get a spot with your kit, as well as those lovely stamp sets. So you're getting pretty good value because you can use the stamp set again and again and again, and again and again, and again and again. Yeah, so pull this out here. I'll show you the envelopes first because we won't really be using those today. That's for when I go to mail it out. I keep these little pieces here for like little folio books and stuff. Okay, so when you get it, you're gonna get this here. You can open it up. Page 1, page 2, page 3. So we've got those, and then this is how you collect all the pieces for each project. So today we have contains supplies for 9 cards and 9 envelopes. Coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors is Balmy Blue, Coastal Cabana, Early Espresso, Gorgeous Grape, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Smoky Slate. So we're doing a lot of like muted colors in the background, and again those bright colors like Gorgeous Grape and Old Olive and Pretty Peacock, they're in the butterfly or the hummingbirds. And then every 3 months they do something called an add-on, and these are die cuts that will go really well with 3 consecutive months worth of Stampin' Up! And again, if you purchase these, they're at a savings because they're smaller. There's only 3, 4, maybe 4 die cuts. So it is a smaller price point. I think they're around $16. But then those are reusable, right? You can use them over and over and over again. Okay, so let's have a look at our stamps. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Okay, so we've got these hummingbirds. And like I said, you can use these over and over again. So if you want, and you've got alcohol markers, you can create your own beautiful hummingbirds by just coloring them yourself. So it says, wishing you a happy anniversary. Very, very nice font. Birthday wishes and hello. So this is really birthday wishes. That's awesome. And then here's our lovely free set. So Fluttering Garden, we've got this beautiful, like these would be so nice for emboss resist. Like if you just colored in some of the flowers and then embossed the outside in like a black or a white and then used your blending brush to blend. So those are just some ideas of how you could use that extra set. Very pretty. Okay. No sentiments in the second set though. It looks like we've got some lovely gold foil embellishments, and you can't really see them that well. But they have like a pink, oh, you can start seeing it now. They shine and they show you a little bit of purple, a little bit of green. So going with those beautiful wings. You know, it's funny. Automatically, in my head, I start to think, this could be a really great project for Wink of Stella. Add a little Wink of Stella to any kind of bird's wings like that, or butterfly wings. Makes it really pretty. Okay, so we've got these envelopes. They're all the same. And they have that lovely, from this stamp set, they have that lovely design, kind of just stamped across over and over and over again. How pretty is that? And I've said this before in videos, you can cut these up and turn these into designer paper. So they are plain white on the inside, but they would make a lovely background if you wanted to do your own projects. They would. You wouldn't have to just put them in the mail. Okay, so we've got these pieces here, which are our die cuts. And then all the card bases are the same. Well, yeah, it looks like we're going to do a lot of stamping. A lot of stamping this month. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you, and have a, you could put a Happy Mother's Day. So this is nice. We've got some actual, they're not stamped. So we've got some of our kits are cutouts only, and some of our kits are stamp only. So this is nice. We're getting a little bit of both in this set. But yeah, all the bases are the same. There's one with a circle here on it, so that we can do some stamping and have a great guideline for it. So sorting should be fairly easy today. Okay, so I'm going to sort everything, put it on the left hand side here, and then we'll pull in from there. So the first one, card number 1 is calling for that circle. The envelope, the circle. So we'll pull the circle one out, put that there, and then we've got envelope. We've got I'm so grateful for you. So we'll punch that one out. I really do love these fonts. This is a really nice double font, where it's the very simple text font and then the really nice, it's a very nice font set, I think, personally, in my opinion. Okay, and then we've got this hummingbird. We've got, oh, this one as well. Yeah, so we've got both those two. Put that aside, both those two. I'm so grateful for you. The next is stamping and embellishment. So we've got nothing else there. Okay, number 2, we're going to grab one of the plain ones. No circle on it. We're going to grab this big hummingbird here. The word beautiful from here. And the only other thing you need with these kits is a pair of scissors, like a pair of scissors. You don't even need to take your pick. I only bring it in because I love how easy it is to deal with my pop-ups, my dimensional backings. Yeah. Have a Happy Mother's Day. I'm sure my mom would really like this card. Her favorite is dragonflies, but so you got some space to put happy in there. You can see that there's supposed to be a space for happy. And then we're also taking this banner piece here, and then the rest is stamping. Okay, now card number 3, we're doing again just a plain base. So we had 6 of these plain bases and 3 of the circle ones. Okay, and then we've got the thank you. So no spares. It looks like there's no spares on this set. So you'd have to cut your own pieces if you messed up, just like maybe from the edges. You could cut another banner here or something from the edges if need be. Grab some white paper and bring it in. And then we've got 1, 2, 3. The thank you, and 1, 2, 3 of the remaining. So yeah, no spare pieces this month. We just got all this stuff. So it would have been fun to have a couple of extra hummingbirds already colored, but it's okay. We forgive you. So yeah, you can see those are both empty now. So you can use them as stencils. Some people will take, like, let's say the stamp set matched up with the big thank you here. A lot of people will take this here and they will trace around it like so with a pencil, and then they fussy cut, so then they get this perfect shape outline. Just a little tip on the side there. Okay, same thing with the hummingbirds. Like, I wonder if the hummingbirds will fit. Let's see. Will the hummingbirds fit in here? No. No, none of these hummingbirds fit. None of the stamped ones fit, so you can't use them as a outline stencil, but is worth a shot to have a look, right? Okay, I've gone and moved some things here. Okay. All right, I'm running out of space on my desk. I'm already overflowing. Okay, next up, I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut open my stamping spot. So I pull away from the body, open up my scissors like so, and then place it against the seam line between the lid and the bottom of the stamping spot. And then I just swipe it across to break the seal. Sometimes there's a dotted line, but a lot of times it doesn't line up with that edge. So then I just put my scissors down, and now it should open up like a charm. Look at that. And then the lid can go back on. So there we go. Okay, so then what we do, once we've collected all of our cards, when we pull out one and we start working on it. So here's number one. We'll put our embellishments to the side here. Pull in our Stampin' Dimensionals. They give us all the adhesives we need, so we are covered for our creations. Mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so first up, they're saying, grab number one here. We're going to fold this in half. Now I'm going to bring in a bone folder. You don't have to do that. If you've got your block, this is a great use for it. Just take it and swipe it across the bottom, and that will crease your edge. I'm just going to bring in my bone folder because it's comfy. I'm used to it. Okay, so then we're going to take and put dimensionals on the back of everything. I'm going to do that step number 3. I want to do my stamping right now. I just want to be really solid with that. And I'm going to open it back up just so it's nice and flat. Okay. And then we're going to grab our, oh, they're using from the extra stamp set. Oh, so this is our extra stamp set, I think. Actually, they're just using both this month. So I'm used to it not having the second stamp set being used, like it just being a freebie, but doesn't. Weird. Okay, and this one here just fits. It's just fitting on our D set, our D stamp. Just fitting. And I'm a little wider one way than the other way, I believe. Is it wider? I'm just going to check this out. So we're at 2 1/8. Yeah. 2 1/8 by 2 3/4. So it will work to actually put this on, making sure we're in our horizontal position. And then I'm just going to go like this to get rid of the factory residue. I just swipe my hand on it like this. And then I wash it on my stamping scrubber. And then that is seasoned and ready to go. And I just grab my stamping spot. Another way to season your stamp is just, you know, put some ink on it and stamp it off once and twice on a piece of paper, or that block, or this. If you're not using this, just stamp it on that, right? So that I just stamp it off once, make sure that the image is good. It's actually pretty good. But that helps to season it again. It just helps that ink not to pool, and then you get a blotchy lines. This is a very fine lined stamp image, so I kind of want to make sure that I'm getting my full my full image on there. Okay, so then they're calling out for us to do one this way, one this way, around that circle. That circle is there for a guideline. So I've got one around my circle there. And I'm lining up the stem kind of with the line. I'm a little off, but that's what that little line is there for. And that's where my circle, I'm so grateful for you, is going to go, is over that little line. So you'll never see it, which is great. It's a little shaky on the camera, me stamping, sorry about that. Okay. So hummingbirds, very beautiful. I've always been scared to put up a hummingbird feeder because if you don't change out the sugar water enough, you can actually hurt the little critters. So even though I think they're beautiful, I tend to veer away from feeding them because I'm not super disciplined in remembering to do stuff all the time. And I would just, it would break my heart if I ever hurt them. But I have seen going camping. So I'm just going to cut off the little nibs on all of my pieces, and then I'm going to put my dimensionals on the back. I have seen when when we're camping, we had this one friend of ours who put out a hummingbird feeder, and when we were camping, we had the hummingbirds all over the campsite, and it's normal. It's a normal practice from what I understand at some of the lower lying lakes, of course not the super high mountain lakes, but the lower lying lakes, that people do have their little hummingbird feeders on their campers. So you could already have like a little expecting family of hummingbirds, you know, looking around for some sugar water. If you've ever done that yourself, fed the little hummingbirds while camping, I'd love to hear in the comments. Again, I myself, too afraid that I would hurt the little hummingbirds. If you have any tips or anything, I'd love to hear that too. Okay, so now we're going to take our Stampin' Dimensionals. And again, if you didn't do cutting those little bits off, you would do this so much faster than me. Okay, so we've got our hummingbird. We've got one place there on the diagram. So they do show you where to place the dimensionals, and one placed here. A lot of times they show you the place to put them because when you go put your circle on, the dimensionals will want to be outside of that circle. You don't want to pop up that tail double time, right? So they show you where to put the dimensionals. Usually 3 points is best, but again, if the circle is holding up here and here, then you're kind of getting 3 points. Okay, back to that. Oh, what did I do? Close enough. Same. Okay, I had the wrong hummingbird. I was doing the wrong hummingbird. Okay, this one's in the wing. And it's in the body. You know what we don't have on this set of cards is any kind of ribbon or twine. They have not added a ribbon or a twine to this. And again, the colors are very muted and simple and classy because then your eye is focused on the hummingbirds and not the card base or the sentiment. You're focused on the beautiful hummingbirds. You could add more color by taking a blending brush and just pulling in one of the colors in the hummingbird and just placing it in the center here. That would be put a little more focus on the sentiment, but not taking too much away from the birds. So yeah, we're going to go to that circle outline. You can see the outline here that I stamped around. So you can see just that slight circle there. So we're going to place that just in over top of that circle. Now I'm not directly over the card, so I'm kind of lining up and hoping I'm missing the circle on the top there. Try and get that straight. Then we've got our one butterfly flying through the bottom here. 1, 2. And then, sorry, it's not a butterfly. And then our other hummingbird coming over the top here. And yeah, I'm still not getting, you just don't want it dimensionals going over top. So grateful for you. Don't want to go over the edge of the card. So let's bring that up a little bit more. And I already folded it, so it should fold nice. Look at how nice that is. Okay, I'm gonna leave my dimensionals to the about now. I was gonna leave them to the end, but I'm gonna do it now. And I've showed this already, but look how pretty that is. Purple, blue, just coming through. These are gorgeous. Gorgeous. So we've got 1, 2, 3 small ones. 1 down here. 1 small one. 1 big one. A small one here. A small one here. And a big one in the middle. So we're using 5 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Isn't that pretty? The purple in that is so, just the purple and the old olive, the gorgeous grape and old olive, really pretty. Okay, so card number 1. Next up, we'll bring in card number 2. And we just have to flip the page. So there we go, card number 2. We're bringing in our base, we're folding it. But again, I want to do the stamping before I fold the piece of paper. So we're bringing in this stamp again, but we're also going to be bringing in this one here. So let's start off doing this. What a nice flourish. This is such a nice flourish on the card. I'm just gonna get my Stampin' Scrubber ready to clean this baby off, because I'll need to use my block again. Okay, so this one we're pulling up from the center and going to the corner. Such a pretty flourish. I can just see the add-on on this baby would have been Wink of Stella for sure. I could either Wink of Stella this beautiful flourish, and then maybe add a little bit to the tips of the wings on the hummingbird, or just above the face of the hummingbird. I actually think the face of the hummingbird has the shimmer, not so much the wings. It's the face. So we also there was a neighbor, we used to go to this beach lot, and the neighbor loved hummingbirds, and you could see her deck from the beach lot. You could see her deck, and the hummingbirds would come in there, and we were next door to them, but we were on that neighboring property line, so we were able to see these hummingbirds, and you could just watch them, grab a cup of coffee or something to drink, and just go and watch these hummingbirds, and just looking closely at the shimmer, and it's like Wink of Stella, that shimmer on their body. It was such a nice way to pass some time while camping. It was camping at a lake lot, my husband's parents' lake lot. Is a very rustic lake lot, and you had to bring your trailer. There's not really a cabin there per se. And there's an outhouse, but I mean, there's the lake. I mean, we've never been super fancy people. We just love being near a lake. So we go camping and stuff. So this is just like camping, but their own private camping spot. Yeah. Okay. And then what do we got to do next? We're going to do all these. So we're going to add our dimensionals to all of our little pieces. And again, I'm going to cut the little bits off because I'm strange like that. I notice them. Other people don't notice them, but I notice them. All the little spots. Okay, so we've got beautiful, and these are all getting dimension too. So there we go. We're gonna just add dimensionals to these, the backs of these, 1, 2, and oh, okay. So the beautiful word is gonna come in here. We're actually not using happy. It's hello on here. So it's not happy. I thought this was happy. I totally messed up. It's actually hello. So that wouldn't have worked. Have a hello Mother's Day. Wow, Kim. Just wow. I tell you. Sometimes I win the race. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes my brain is working. Sometimes it is not. And I've even had coffee today already. Jeez Louise. Okay. You ever laughed at all the names that get connected to stuff like that? Jeez Louise, Holy Hannah. All the funny little names. Okay. And off my brain flits again. Just like this hummingbird. Off the brain just flits around. I'm just flitting around. Okay, we've got one on the end of the wing, one in the middle of the body. Oh, the tail, close to the tail of the body. And then we've got 4 on this square. They've done it on 4 corners here. 1, 2, it's not actually a square. It is a small rectangle. 2, 3, 4. And then they have beautiful popped up as well. Do I have to do that? I'm going to see about that. So I'm going to layer and then I'm going to decide. I might break the rules today. So here's my thing. They've got this banner in between here. Now I know that this is going to double pop up if I do that. Let's take a look at the picture on the front. Does it look like it's double popped up? Triple popped up by the time you put beautiful on there? I don't know. That makes it not mailable if you make it too puffy. So I am going to pull these right to the edge. So I hope you're watching first, not crafting along. Because that banner, if I can get that banner to fit in the middle, I will. That banner is going to fit in the middle now. So then I'm not making it bulky. Okay. So first up here, we put on our banner, and we've got that about 1/3 of the way up, I want to say, and just about a 1/4 of an inch from the edge, right edge of the card. So 1/3 of the way up the card, and just about a 1/4 of an inch from the right edge. Okay, so there's my first. Then I'm going to grab this banner and I'm going to place that over that other, or this rectangle, and I'm going to place it over that banner because I don't want this triple layering. It's not mailable then. Okay, so then that one's almost at the tip of that flag. So that one's right there. Okay. Then we're going to put the beautiful on. And now because I've done that small, like that small alteration to the design, I'm going to be okay with doing this. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals again, and there's one there and one there. So one on the B, one behind the B because it'll fit, and then one behind the T area because it'll fit. But there's not a lot of space otherwise for a dimensional to fit on the back. Ha, touched my finger. Okay, so have a beautiful Mother's Day. So that fits really nicely, very nicely. And then we can put on this hummingbird. And this one's going to go right over the corner there with the wings flying up. Now, this is the best part because it actually covers all of the area that's very busy with the stamping. It's covering that area where the ends of the stamps all met together and made kind of a messy center there. Okay, then the last bit is putting on those lovely embellishments. So we've got one, and these are away from the stamping. I'm not putting them over the stamping. Two, and then 1, 2, 3 over here is kind of over the stamping and not over the stamping. So we've got one big one right there, and 2 small ones. There we go. And now I'm going to fold it over, grab my bone folder, and crease the edge of my card. There we go. Look at how pretty that one is. Gosh, my light isn't the best today, but that is a very pretty card. They're even prettier in person. Like, and again, that Wink of Stella is just gonna ka-chow, as Lightning McQueen would say. Ka-chow. It would just be ka-chow if you added a little bit of Wink of Stella. Okay, now on to card number 3. Oh, and this is the one where we get to use that pretty wildflower stamp. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this one, clean it off, get it ready for my wildflower stamp, which is this one right here. So we really only used from this set. So this was the free add-on set, not the other way around, which I originally said. You never know. You never know. Okay, that one there. Get rid of that factory yuck there. I need a little bit more cleaner on that. Okay, let's bring in our scrap paper. Because again, I'm not doing step number 2. I'm reversing step number 2 and step number 3. Because I just want to get my stamping done. Because it's the part that I always want to be able to shift around if I need to. Okay, so I've got one. Looks gorgeous. Alrighty, so we're stamping this along the bottom with about 1/4 of an inch on all 3 sides where the design's going to end up. So I'm going to stamp this baby out 3 times. And again, I don't want the card folded underneath because then it kind of can pop up. It can pop up on you and then it'll touch your stamp before you're ready to put it down. Okay. So now I'm lining this up towards the left. 1. Looks good so far. So far I'm winning. And if I messed up on this, I would just cut off the back and then I would flip this over and I would add it to a regular white card base. So you could do that if you had a little hiccup, but I have faith in you. You're going to be great. Because with photopolymer stamps, you can see right through it. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Okay. 3. Looking pretty good. I might be a little off kilter, but I always say if somebody doesn't like your card, well, then that's probably the last time they're going to get one. You know, if they are nitpicky, maybe they don't really like handmade cards and they're not the right fit. But I've found that most people are very happy with getting a handmade card. There we go. Look at that. Not too bad. I think I could have maybe snugged them up a bit or gone right off the end. I could have done that too, where I just stamp right off the end. So then I get a perfect line. But you do whatever tickles your fancy. I think there is definitely room for your own creativity on that. It's not going to affect the card design at all. Okay, so then we're going to do all these again. Snip, snip. Snip, snip my little... They're just little tags that when the factory laser cuts them, there's connectors to hold them into those little pieces of those little papers. And so I just cut off those little factory tabs because I don't want to see them. Yeah. And when you get a pack of paper, like there's all kinds of packs of paper now that Stampin' Up! Does that have all these die cuts in them, and they are great. Like you can now, when you're purchasing the products from Stampin' Up!, you can get kind of like mini scrapbooking kits almost. The designer series paper can come with a sticker pack and or die cuts in it. One of my favorites was the winter one this year with all the bears and the animals doing deliveries. Sometimes I feel like those poor delivery guys are out in the wild. Poor delivery guys are just out in the wild trying to bring us all the stuff we want. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take our dimensionals like we did all the other times. Place them on the back according to the diagram. You can use less or more if you'd like. I'm not sure, considering there was no spares in this set. Not sure how many spares you'll have at the end of this. So sometimes following the diagram is a good idea. But if you wanted to use less, you could use less. I'm just not sure about more. Okay, so that looks good. And I'm just gonna put them in the direction they're in here, just so I can follow the diagram, just in case they're gonna have any pop up. Well, these ones are all off of the thank you part, so you really could put these anywhere you like. It's not going to affect the dimension of the project at all. Oh, there we go. There we go. In the wing. Middle of the body there. I usually like to have 3 points on, not 2, for stability, but Stampin' Up! Calls for 2. So who am I to question? But that would be my preference. I'd probably even cut these in half maybe and do 3 points on. Okay, so now we're going to place this thank you. It's going to be pretty much centered in the card. We're going to put this one directly in the center of the card. And then we're going to add our hummingbirds to the rest of it. So we've got one cute one coming off the thank you on the left here. One going over the T, coming over the K a little bit, but not affecting the font at all. So just kind of bordering. So you can pick these dimensional backings off, but I've always loved my take a pick tool. And then this one coming off here. And then again, we're going to use our five little embellishments here. So we've got one big one. This one's 3 big ones. So they're offsetting the fact that when you do 1 big one and 2 small ones, you get an odd separation of the embellishments. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 big one over here, and 1 small one. So we've gotten 2 and 3 each time. It looks like I need to take a alcohol wipe to my surface here. I must have some stickiness on there. So I have to do a little cleanup in my space. Okay. So then there's card number 3. How nice is that? I'm telling you though, Wink of Stella. Do you know what? Okay. I don't. Actually, I'm not gonna bring in the Wink of Stella. You can do that on your own if you wish, because not everybody has it, and it is a product that seems to sell out a lot. So I don't want you to just fall in love and then not be able to get it. So I am going to suggest Wink of Stella, but I'm not gonna bring it in and break your heart. Okay, so there's our 3 creations for today. Also, don't forget that they have these lovely pool party envelopes with them. All the pool party envelopes will go with them. Let's take those out of there because this is just way prettier. Okay, so there's our 3 creations for today. Let me know what you think. Is this the one that got you? Is this the one that says like, gosh, that paper pumpkin, I love that little surprise and I just want to try it for myself. There are sneak peeks on my Wild Rose and Pearl page on Facebook. So if you would like to like and follow that page, that would be great. And you can keep up to date with all of these. And maybe one time, of course, the subscription is also, you do not have to do every month. You can pause at any month. So it's not like a normal subscription where it's like you have to go for a whole year. This one is pick and choose at your leisure. You just have to remember to turn it off before the 10th of the month every month, and then you won't get the one if you don't like the preview. But if you love the preview, and for example, in March, getting the 2 stamp sets, the value is really good. And I don't actually go to events without my stamping spots. That's all I bring. So I collect all these and then I bring these to events so I don't have to have my big pads. I've got quite a collection now because I've been doing paper pumpkin for quite a while. So maybe 5 years. Yeah. So yeah, these little spots add up. You get a nice array of colors. Anyways, enough of that talking. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.